Hello peeps, Hillbilly Arf with you today. Just doing one of these vids today. What a mad world we're living in. During the last week I've been talking to people who usually vote Labour and things, and we're talking to a variety of people, and what has really shocked me is that most of them don't like Starma. It sort of took me back a bit, really. It's a strange position, this election, because we're going to end up with a Prime Minister that nobody wants, even his own side. And he's going to be put into Parliament on probably 35% of the vote. And then Reform, thankfully I found out we've got a candidate, thankfully, so I can vote Reform. Reform's going to have more of the population's vote than the Conservatives and the Liberals put together, but it'll only have maybe 10 or 15, perhaps 10 MPs, even though it's had more votes than the two of them put together. That's how stacked and stupid our UK parliamentary system is. Got to be honest, I'm just praying that people are waking up and going to vote Reform and rid the lot of us, clear out Westminster. That's what I'm praying for. I know it's a bit of a long shot, but I'm even seeing people who are really, really sensible people who just vote Labour normally, for various reasons. Everybody has their own ideas. But I'm even seeing really sensible people who normally vote Labour think Starmer's a dick. And he's a liar. Because he is, isn't he? Well, what to say? I've been saying on my videos, and I do think there's this movement at the moment. I don't know, will it come through? I hope it does. I hope you people on here will, because most of you try to vote Reform, because there'll be nearly 5,000 of us. I know I'm only a small channel, but hopefully it's helped. But in Wales, I think we're going to be left with Welsh Labour in charge again, by the look of it, and God help farming. They're going to screw us over big time. See, a lot of people don't know, with farming, say I passed it on and I had children, I want to pass it on to my children. If you're in business with your father, like I was in business with my father, but 7 years before he passes away, you can pass the farm over, and say your farm is worth 400,000. You have an allowance that says you're allowed to have 300,000 that you can be passed to you, and then you only have to pay death duties on the 100,000. So that's the way that a poorish person who lives in a farm can have the farm. It's been around for donkey's years, because people like me wouldn't be able to have the farm after my father or mother or whatever, or you couldn't pass it down to your family, because most of a farm's any wealth is in the ground, and you never use it because you always keep it for the next generation, really. That's how it's looked at. But from what I understand, Starmer's going to remove that altogether. So, for instance, if you had a farm that was worth £1 million, say, you yourself watching this, and you want to pass it on to your family, maybe your son or daughter had been working on it all their life for no wages or anything, like I was here. I had no wages when I was working here, ever. And your death duties will be 45 to 50% of that whole million. So you'll have to sell the farm to pay the death duties that you've already paid tax on, because you probably had a mortgage on and paid it all your life. It's absolutely nuts. Well, from what I understand, Starmer's doing that, and also on houses. People who own houses in London and all over the country now, and in Wales and things, if they come in, you're going to be having full death duties on everything. I think it's a disgrace indeed. I think there shouldn't be any death duties on anything. If a family has worked hard all their life to pay for their mortgage and pay their house, they should be able to pass it on to their family. I think, anyway. You know, why isn't it okay to give your son or daughter or a house to live under without a mortgage? Hey, what's wrong with that? It isn't a bad thing, is it? But anyway, that's my thoughts for today. I genuinely fear what's going to happen, and it looks like Labour are going to get in. I think we're going to have nutty alphabet people policies. We're going to have absolutely mental net zero policies. Even the people in London at the moment who've got an electric car and they don't have to pay congestion charge are going to have to pay that at the end of the year, so they're going to go bonkers. Wales is going to try to do road charging, and this 20-mile-an-hour stuff, oh, what's happening to our great country, eh? What is happening? I'm a bit down today, because I was looking at these things today and I was thinking, only for a miracle, if people just have a miracle and vote reform, something might happen. But when even Labour supporters don't like the guy who's going to be our Prime Minister, this is scary stuff, isn't it? I have heard a rumour about 3 weeks ago that the only reason Sunak called this election because the civil service and that and Western countries want to go to war with Russia, and he didn't want to be a PM who wasn't voted in going to war. That's what I've heard. And that's why Macron had to do the same thing. Now, that is a conspiracy because I don't really know if that's true, but if it is, we might find out in the next few months if we go to war with Russia. And if that was right, that's very worrying that our civil service are telling our prime ministers what to do, isn't it? It'd be nice to wake up on Thursday morning and there'd been some huge mass movement like I hope is there, and Farage has got some kind of a hold in Westminster. We can hold these people to account, because there's nobody in the Conservative Party going to do it for sure, because they're all in on it. Liberal Democrats are going to be playing on swings, and that guy is as bent as a 9-bob note in charge. You know what happened to the post office. He was in the middle of all that. So it's looking pretty grim at the moment, but I'm just crossing my fingers that the country's woken up. Please wake up and try to do something and vote reform, because the guy genuinely looks like he wants to do something and change something. So there we are. That's the talk for today. So please comment, rate and subscribe, and thank you all. We're nearly at 5,000 subscribers, and thanks to you out there. Thanks to you out there watching my stuff. I don't make any money off this, but it's genuinely very nice of you all to subscribe and like. So cheers. Ta-da!